Hey everyone, it's Jessica with Omnigraphics. And first, I'd like to start out by thanking the School Library Journal for having us today. We're so excited to be a part of your virtual event. That said, 2020 has been a stressful year for everyone. Specifically though, teens. Teens have a naturally heightened reactivity to stress, and perhaps have been one of the hardest hit groups of all during this pandemic. Teens spend a large portion of their day in school with friends, learning to form opinions, getting validation, and even seeking support and help. But much of that has been taken away in 2020. Add to this increased concerns about their future, the economy, jobs, even future education, and teens today are more vulnerable than ever. In fact, Child Mind estimates 1/3 of teenagers have some form of anxiety during their teenage years. And in 2017, Pew Research studies estimated over 3.2 million teens suffered from depression. It's now more important than ever to provide our teens with resources to help them during this time, which is why today I want to talk to you a little bit about our Teen Resource Center. Teen Resource Center is a unique, information-rich online resource built and written specifically for teenagers. It features over 2,000 specifically written articles covering 28 high-level subject areas in health, financial literacy, education, youth violence, and even personal growth. Now, covering everything from technical skill development, job search assistance, mental health resources, financial planning, and more, TRC, better known as the Teen Resource Center, is presented in an intuitive and browsable format, making it really easy to identify and access relevant content. More importantly, Teen Resource Center is written for teens, not adults. This makes it a very important go-to reference source with objective, reliable information on every topic that's important to today's modern-day teen. Now, I could talk about the Teen Resource Center for a long time, but I'd rather throw it back to an interview we did a few months ago with an educator down in Louisiana. She's a big fan of the Teen Resource Center, and she uses it almost every day. So without further ado, please enjoy this short interview with Jennifer in Louisiana. So what exactly is a teen librarian? Because I think definitely it's changed from when I was in school, and I think a lot of people have a conception of this idea of what a librarian is in their head. But I mean, generally, your responsibilities span over a huge gambit of things you
Everything.
have to provide. So
Yeah,
give me a little bit of insight into, what a day-to-day looks like for you and what you're responsible for.
sure. So for me, being administration, I really, we do everything. So the biggest part of my job is creating services for teens, making sure that we provide free events for ages 12 to 18, truly targeting that group, because you know how it is once you are no longer a child and you're going into junior high. You're not, what's that phrase, you're too young for boys, too old for toys. So uh, really being able to let teens know that we are a safe haven for them as they're going through all of these developmental changes. You can explore your independence in a very safe place. So we try to have niches set in all of our libraries for teens, providing services for them, making sure, obviously, collection development. I am purchasing all of the books, fiction, nonfiction. We do all of our marketing, so being very active on social platforms. It's a lot. It's a lot. Doing outreach, so much outreach to schools, public, private, community agencies. We're a pretty good close knit community, so we do a lot of promotion for teens at festivals and events, pop up libraries. Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
fascinating.
yeah.
So, it sounds like you not only are one of the main resources for teens when they're outside of the home and in a school setting, but you're also kind of responsible for providing them with, um, tools to help them grow, but also, some of the issues that they might not want to take up with someone close to them, or, they might not feel comfortable approaching a friend. They'll come to you with those sorts of things. So I know that you use the Teen Resource Center. So in your experience, are there certain topics that have been more prevalent than others that come up? Do you feel like in terms of resources that schools have, how has the Teen Resource Center impacted your job and your life in a positive way to present those types of resources to teenagers?
I'll tell you, the fact that the Teen Resource Center covers every like truly everything. And St. Tammany Parish has one of the highest suicide rates in the country. And I think it's like the third highest parish in Louisiana. I mean, it's very, very sad. So just being able to direct teens to that part of the Teen Resource Center has been fantastic. The adulting part, finance, what to do after high school. And I mean, of course, when you think about teens, all of the basic, the skin concerns, the image concerns, all of that is sound and perfect and great. But when you think of all the other things, the Teen Resource Center has been really great to be able to show them and we did a focus group with our teens when I first became a member. So we had them really go through the database with a fine-tooth comb. And they loved it. Like the feedback was they loved it. They wanted to see more pictures, which everyone knew, and that they wanted more things on religion because I live in the Bible Belt, which is very interesting for me coming from the North.
Absolutely. I mean, and I grew up in a small town as well. And so when I went to university for the first time, even though it was, only an hour and a half away from my home, it was a big difference. And I think when we talk about today's teens and the differences than maybe 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, they have devices in their hands, right? They have computers in their pockets. A big thing that has come up in my conversations with other educators has been finding not only information, but finding factual information. I know that I have a teacher who teaches younger students, primarily fourth graders, and she said one of her biggest challenges in and out of the classroom is to help these kids, one and only define a good source, but also, educate them to not take everything they read off the internet as the truth the first time. So I think, with the Teen Resource Center, like you said, it covers everything, but it does it in such a way that it's a safe place for teens to go virtually, which has been some feedback that we've received. And I think the citation feature, especially, I love fantastic. That your teens are going in and they're using it as, applicable to real life. They're not just going in and writing papers from it because, obviously you can use it that way, but the fact that they're able to go in and take those tools and then use them in their everyday life, that's phenomenal. So I love that. And with that Teen Resource Center, we can kind of circle back to that. Do you feel like having the Teen Resource Center during the pandemic was helpful? And I'll expand a little bit on that. It sounds like from what you've said, your area was really proactive with switching around and you made a pretty flawless transition into this digital sense. And it sounds like you have a strong sense of community where you're at, which is phenomenal. So do you feel like having access to the Teen Resource Center, even though it was beneficial before, was even more so after the coronavirus because you were able to still provide this virtual resource that anyone could get on their smartphones? Did you kind of get the sense that people leaned on it a little bit more, or do you feel like it was just nice to have it comforting in the background still?
I think a little bit of both. I think that we have it on our webpage, on the teen webpage. It is a prominent database of the month, but I never changed it out. So it has been the prominent one. And so I think that the first couple of, I think that I would like to think that there are teens and parents watching teens that went on to find out information about COVID. Um, I feel like it was just such a crazy time. I don't know what teens were doing. Were they into school? Were they really, you know, parents just trying to figure everything out? But I would certainly like to think that all those teens that we had in here, I mean, bookmarks, we put bookmarks in. So when teens would go to check out a book, um, hey, new database, check out Teen Resource Center. Do you have a question about how to get your driver's license and your skin and teen pregnancy? Check out this hot new database. So hopefully those teens did come and check it.
We had so much fun doing that interview, and it was so refreshing to talk to Jennifer, a real-life user of TRC, to hear her feedback and learn how TRC has actually improved her community. If you'd like to learn more about the Teen Resource Center, feel free to visit our website at www.omnigraphics.com. If you'd like to schedule a demo, we'd be more than happy to walk through the product with you as well. Just remember, at Omnigraphics, we're here to help. We hope you have a great day, and thanks for being with us.